What's up, party people? This is Tarkus Jude Mossberg here from Facebook, Jude's Junk, Facebook Comic Book Shop, YouTube channel, and all the socials. And someone just asked a question online. I'm assuming they're being serious and not facetious. Where do you get your better deals? Comic book shows or comic book shops? And my instinct was, well, neither. Were they purposely asking that because they want to buy books at one or the other and they don't want to go online? And they're just saying what's a better deal? I would say neither of those places are the quote better deal. If you want to see raw books in person, if you want to look over that raw book really closely, because a lot of people are not going to give you all the pictures you need on eBay or Facebook to look at a raw book, especially the more expensive books. If you like the touch and feel of the book, you want to look through, make sure everything's in it, you want to pay cash and be out the door, then both those places can be great. But as far as quote deals go, people can put a book up for auction worldwide now, nationwide, statewide maybe, and I find much better deals. I won't buy it at a con or even a dealership. Last time I went into a dealership, I pulled out a bunch of books and they were all overpriced, and I said, "Will you give me a deal on these?" And he said, "No, the price is on them." And it was like each one was more than what I could just go buy it online. And I was like, you know what? I wanted to come spend money, but you know, especially when you get that kind of attitude, like, no, I'm not even going to look at them and whatever. And price is what the price is, and it's overpriced. But so this is the internet age. This is the digital age. This is the whatnot age. Things are cheaper online. We don't have to pay for the costs of going to con. We don't have to recover our costs of buying a booth, advertising, flying there, shipping the books there. We don't have to pay for a brick and mortar store, employees, taxes, federal, state, and FICA, and all that stuff. You know, I have a business that I've been running for about 20 years, and it's all over the phone and online. And we couldn't really do that 20 years ago because the internet had just started and a lot of people weren't doing things online. But now all the applications I get for clients, which happens to be health insurance, I'm in about 13 different states, but we do everything over the phone and online. And there is no stores left for a health insurance broker. Sure, there's a property and casualty guy, you know, your car insurance, but he has a captured agent and he can only sell one product. He can't sell all of them. So you won't really find a store where a health broker is because everybody's online now. Comic books, I think, are going this way. The dealerships and the shows are going to have a different bent, a different value proposition, and different reasons for going. And a lot of people that go to these cons are not buying products. They might be selling, but they're not buying comics. Maybe some of them do. Maybe the nostalgia of it. Maybe you can get a great deal and talk the guy down. So possibly, I know if you're going to be there for your YouTube channel, or you're going to be there for selling your books, you might as well walk around and see what's going on. And then buying that book is like a memory. It's like buying that coffee cup when you go over to Italy. It's always going to remind you. So buying that book helps you remember that con. So there's a value in that. So it's like a trinket or a souvenir. And again, maybe you get a steal, maybe you break even, or maybe you don't worry about values at all. But online is just where it's at. And with more and more online places, more and more auction houses, because I watch 30 auction houses daily. So I'm getting steals. And this is why I provide my brokerage service. If I'm looking at 30 auction houses, I might as well help you get some of those steals. Because I can't buy all these books. And it's every day for the last couple of years. I mean, 40% of fair market value, 50%. There's just steals. And none of them are getting reported. No tax. It's just really good deals. The dealers know about this and they're buying it 50%, turn around and selling it for fair market value that you see. And the prices online are just cheaper by far. The prices on price guides like Go Collect, GPA, Cover Priced, a lot of them are Heritage and eBay. Those are the highest prices in the world, I would say. Usually if you're buying through someone like on Facebook or Instagram, or you're doing a no fee model, you're getting those cheaper. but that is the highest cost platform to advertise on, 15% if you're selling on eBay. You get a much wider audience, but you pay for that. So, yeah, you might be able to sell it worldwide, but you're paying 15% commission. So that seller isn't getting 1,000, he's getting 850, and then that's getting reported for taxes, and then whatever profit he made, he's paying 30% profit on that $800 book that might be a $200 profit. So he's paying, 60 bucks taxes. So maybe he nets 800 on that $1,000 book he sells. So if I can sell it for 900, I'm doing better than the guy that you saw sold it for 1,000 that's being reported GPA. So online is the way to go. It's the way to get lower rates. Those published rates on GPA Go Collect, those are the highest prices in the world. And a lot of those, I believe, are international buyers. We don't get the breakdown of how many of those are people locally buying, how many of those are dealership buying, how many of those are international buyers buying. When you see these huge spikes out of nowhere where someone's paying like $1,000 for a $400 book, you're like, there must be fools. No, and I always say this, there's benefits to international buyers paying more. They want that book for a signature event. You get that Hulk 340, that Batman 423, you get it in 9.8, you buy it 9.8, you get it signed with Todd McFarlane, you just made like $2,000. It cost you $200 to get it signed, but you made $2,000. Yes, you might lose a grade, and that's the gamble. You might lose $2,000 or $1,500. But someone overseas that doesn't want to import it can buy it, store it in the United States, never have to pay the customs duties and taxes and all that, have someone locally ship it to CGC, and then have it routed to them somehow where they still avoid customs and duties and all that stuff. So there's a lot of moving parts that people don't know that's going on behind the scenes, and that doesn't even include the fake sales, the fake reporting, blah blah blah. So there are great deals to be had online, and I don't know why anybody would even ask that question: what's better, a dealership or a con? And it's too bad. I hope that the local comic book shops find a way to stay in business. I hope it's just like, I would like it if Blockbuster stuck around. I was the guy in 1998 that was going to Blockbuster to rent some movies. You got to see some people, so you weren't alone. If you were alone on Friday night and you weren't going out partying anymore, and you were just, I was a single dad for a while on the weekends, and so I'd go get a movie. And Blockbuster's not around anymore. Would I like it to continue? Sure. But technology has just passed it up. Comic book dealer shops are going away. There is no more brick and mortar stores for health insurance agents. You can't find one. You can find a store that does a lot of other products, annuities, car insurance, blah, 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 and they'll help you with their health insurance. But it may not be a true broker that can sell all the health insurance products. My point is, a lot of industries, the brick and mortar stores have gone away and are going away. And I believe comic books is. Cons are a totally different thing. A lot of people go there for things way different than comic books. That's just the pop culture. There's, cosplay, there's manga, there's, real art, there's meeting artists, there's movie premieres. There's a lot going on now that's not just comic books. But a lot of these comic books you can't even get unless you're ordering online directly from the artist. The Clayton Cranes, the Scott Campbells. You're ordering from them. You're not going to a store to buy it in many cases. Anyways, that's my answer to the question. Neither. The wave of the future is online buying. And what I'm watching online and why I'm doing across all the socials now, I haven't really before, but now I am focused on the philosophy behind the social media. I'm not advertising, I'm putting content on Whatnot, TikTok, YouTube, X, Instagram, Facebook page, Facebook profile. Those are different. That's like 7 different social sites. And then there's goals for different things like stories. I'm finding stories and reels are different. Stories get shown to your friends and followers. Reels get shown to people who are not friends and followers. Reels are to get new followers. So there's all this new technology and new science around the marketing in these social medias. And everything is online. Everything is online. They've been doing this in China for 10 years, these online stores. Whatnot has been here for a while, but it's only going to get bigger. These online live stores is what some people are saying is the wave of the future. Online live stores, and if you have a work hard and you have a hard job, I've noticed a lot of people will send me messages while I'm sleeping, and I'll wake up. Hey, do you have this book? Do you want to sell this book? So they're up at 4 in the morning. I don't know if they have that kind of job that makes it that. I don't know if they can't sleep. I don't know if they're up doing coke. They are just in the middle of the night scrolling around online because there's nothing to go out and do. And that's their hobby, maybe in the middle of the night, especially if they work till 2 in the morning as a waitress somewhere or waiter. So online is the way of the future. But they shouldn't even be asking that question unless it's an old dude that just doesn't know. And there are some of us old guys on here is just like, who still uses Overstreet? I asked the same thing 5 years ago. Everyone's like, Overstreet had a chance to be the first online price guide, and they refused. I don't think they're going out of business yet, but I don't know anybody who takes them seriously and uses any of their stuff or pays for one of their stuff. They missed the boat. Blockbuster missed the boat. Everything's online. So the real question is the better options auctions? Is it social media posts? Or is it live TV shows? Which one's cheaper? That gets into some nuance. But anyways, happy hunting, guys. Good luck. Find those deals.